Hello everybody, it's Whiskey Mike. I'm making this video because there's been some question about how to extract and run my installer program that I made for the FSXTextureConversion installer. So I'm making this video, maybe help you out a little bit. First of all, I want to let everybody know that the installer itself is not, well, the installer is my property, and I went ahead and designed it and compiled it. But the actual process of converting the files was created by SSC Limited Trademark. He's a real good guy. I've known him for a little while now, outside of YouTube, on other websites. So it's his process. He was the one that started, and on this website explains how to convert from DXT5 format to DXT1 format. Now, the problem with DXT5 format is that it's very large, and this is what the default flight simulator textures are in. It's a very large format, and it's hard to load on Flight Simulator, and it's the reason why most of your frame rates actually go on loading these texture files, DXT5. So what he decided to do is convert them to DXT1, which is a very, it's a much smaller file size, and it essentially loads faster because it's smaller. The only problem is with DXT1, you'll notice a little bit, you may notice, I haven't noticed, but you may notice a little bit of a quality downgrade from DXT5. So that's the price you'll pay for a little extra frame rates. But it's not much of a hit at all. I mean, I couldn't even notice. I couldn't tell the difference. Many people have, though. And I'll talk about my version 2 here in a little bit, but it's going to go to DXT3. But we'll talk about that later. Anyhow, so click on this website. It'll take you here. mileswebsolutions.com/FSXTextureConversion. And I'm going to take advantage of free advertising time, tell you about my website, Miles Web Solutions. If you're ever interested in web design, getting your website designed or hosted, I do both, let me know. Anyhow, back to the subject at hand. So, you'll click on these 4 files, Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, and Part 4. You'll download them. You'll need WinRAR to extract them. You can get that here. And once you download them, they will go, well, we downloaded it. And the reason I split them into 4 files is because the actual program is 686 megabytes, which is pretty large for a download for one file, so I split them up a little bit. Once you have these downloaded, Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, and Part 4, you'll right-click on Part 1 and hold in and drag to wherever you want to extract it to. This could be your desktop, your documents, whatever. I created another folder here for this. And then you'll let up, click extract here. I'm not going to do that because I already have them extracted and it'd be a waste of time. Once you're done extracting, this is the file here that will be extracted from these. You'll just double click on that and go through it. Now, in case you decide not to read this, I'm going to give you a quick lowdown here. What this program does, like I said, it just converts from DXT5 to DXT1 format. It replaces your entire, all your default flight sim textures. Not add-on scenery. This is not add-on scenery. This is the default stuff. The ground, the trees, auto-gen, stuff like that. What this program doesn't do, well, don't create any backups. That's your responsibility to do. The reason, I really do suggest you create backups too if you have the space on your hard drive. If you have, you're going to need over a gigabyte of space just for these backup folders. The reason I suggest you do that is because some people have said, I didn't really like the way it looked after I converted. Like I said, I didn't notice any difference at all. Some people do. If you do and you decide you don't like it, well, there's your backup. If you didn't make a backup, well, then you either have to reinstall Flight Sim or wait till I come out with my version 2 with a little bit higher quality files. I also note about the distorted textures, like jetways and bridges. Again, that'll be fixed in version 2. I'll include the default files for the jetways and bridges. We'll talk about that more later. And just hit next, go through, and it'll install. And I hope you get some kind of increase on that. If you go back to this website here, I'm going to be releasing updates, at least version 2. And I'm also in the process of making another website, a new Flight Sim community website. This program alone, just this conversion, has been so popular. I've gotten over I think about 300 gigabytes of bandwidth on people downloading these. And if you look down here, as of January 31st, and this, I've only had the site up about a little over 10 days now, and I've gotten this many hits. So it's very popular. And since it is, I was thinking about maybe making a new website that's going to be another Flight Sim community. I know there's already a million out there, but I'm going to do file sharing. You'll be able to upload your files and share them right there on my server, on my site. Not have to worry about any outsider site. On that same note, it's not going to be any illegal file sharing. It's going to be all legal, no payware, no wares, stuff like that. So anyhow, keep checking back here for updates on the installer itself and the new website. Version 2 will be coming out around March 2009. It's going to include the original jetways and bridges, and it's going to have DXT3 textures, which again, a little bit bigger than DXT1, a little bit more detail, actually a lot more detail figuratively, and you wouldn't be able to notice a difference at all between DXT5 and DXT3. And it'll still load faster, not as fast as DXT1, but you know, it's the price some people pay for a mix of detail and frames. So that's it. Hope you guys keep checking back to my website, and I'll see you later.